NFL Week 12 power rankings revealing the top 10. Number 10, the Lions. At 9, the Bucks. At 8, the Packers. 7, the Seattle Seahawks. 6, the Buffalo Bills. 5, Broncos. 4, Colts. 3, Eagles. 2, Patriots. And the new number 1, the Los Angeles Rams.
There are weeks in the NFL when everything makes sense, and then there are weeks like this one, where logic is out here getting stiff-armed like Derrick Henry running over a toddler. And the funniest part, everybody keeps asking why the league feels so chaotic this season. Ninja, if you saw the stuff I saw this week, you'd understand. We got cursed teams winning, elite quarterbacks melting, and a franchise that apparently thinks winning the coin toss is an actual strategy. Not winning games, winning the coin toss. That's the flex they put on their resume. Yeah bro, we're 0 to 10. But if the ref flips that quarter, we're basically Kansas City. But before we even jump into the power rankings, I gotta talk about this cursed wheel. Because this thing went from being a cute little joke to straight up paranormal activity. Last week the curse wheel picked 4 teams to ruin, and somehow all 4 won. The curse has been losing so badly it needs a wellness check. It's going through it. It's curled up on the couch eating ice cream, watching sad movies, wondering where its life went wrong.
The Philadelphia Eagles are the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl according to Kalshi, but not according to the Sim Bros, okay? We have the Los Angeles Rams at number 1. Matthew Stafford and those boys are humming. The offense is solid. Yep. The defense is solid. Who's going to stop them?
No one. Right? The Matthew Stafford is playing at an elite level. Yes. The defense is playing well. I love the Rams this year. Number 2, 60% chance. I know odds-on favorite. The Eagles are in second. We got Jalen Hurts. I don't love Jalen Hurts, but that defense is what I really do love. They're coming on exactly like they were last year. That looks like the best unit in football.
And honestly, after watching the games this week, I don't blame it. NFL chaos has never been more chaotic. But that wasn't even the craziest moment. No, the craziest moment was the guy who said, if someone spits in your face, do what comes natural. Natural. Natural for who? Because for me, natural means I'm snitching. I'm calling the police, the National Guard, and maybe even a priest to bless my soul. But then he added, if it's Jamar Chase, you fight. If it's Jalen Carter, you run. And that right there tells you everything you need to know about the NFL. There's no logic, just vibes. Anyway, buckle up, because today we're going through the NFL's most confusing week with a cursed wheel that refuses to curse, a league full of teams that refuse to be consistent, and one quarterback who somehow has the highest EPA in America but still looks like he pays for his haircut with Monopoly money. Let's get into it.
The Seattle Seahawks went into Los Angeles. You were there, Chris. 4 interceptions, 4 field goals settled for. And they still had the ball in the air with every single Rams' hearts in their throats, whether in the stands or on the sidelines, to win this game. They've got to feel good about themselves in the way they lost, even though losing never lets you feel good. This photograph right here, right?
That catch was amazing.
Of JSN with his one hand. Like, he's basically looking at the ball in his hands going, yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
So let's start with the most embarrassing storyline of all, the curse wheel. Now, normally when the curse wheel picks your team, it's a wrap. You're finished. You're done. But last week, something weird happened. The curse wheel chose for teams, and all four decided, nah bro, not today. They won. They all won. The curse got cooked. This is the paranormal version of a scammer getting scammed. Imagine being a curse and getting reverse cursed by the teams you're supposed to destroy. It's like dropping a banana peel and slipping on it yourself. The Niners won. The Bears won. The Steelers won. The Packers won. The curse had the worst performance since that one kid on TikTok who tried to dunk on a lowered rim and tore his Johnson in half. But don't get it twisted. Just because the curse wheel lost doesn't mean the NFL is safe. Oh no. If anything, this made things worse because now the curse wheel is angry, and an angry curse wheel is the last thing your franchise needs, especially if you're one of the sad teams who can barely beat a Pop Warner squad.
You know, I thought I saw a solid effort, but it's Friday, and so we still got some time. He was listed as a partial participant and given a questionable designation, and we'll see where the weekend leads us. It's non-surgical. As soon as they secure it and know that he can protect himself, they'll be comfortable. You know, it's thoughtful decision-making that you go through almost routinely, particularly this time of year when you get into the meat of things.
But that wasn't the only injury-related chaos last week. Aaron Rodgers fractured his wrist, but somehow it won't affect him on or off the field. How? I don't know. This ninja is basically a superhero. He's like if Wolverine went to a crystal healer. Meanwhile, Josh Jacobs injured his knee, Eddie Pinheiro pulled his hamstring, and somehow the Bears walked away as the most cursed team in the league anyway. Even when other people get hurt, Chicago finds a way to lose. So going into this week, we're not just ranking teams, we're ranking chaos, and trust me, the chaos gets spicy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why 14.5? Why not just 14? Why is Kansas City getting decimals like we're doing algebra? Because sometimes, petty is necessary. Sometimes you gotta look a champion dead in the eye and say, congratulations, you played yourself. And that's exactly what happened here. The Chiefs have gone from team that dominates the league to team your uncle bets on.
I can't imagine Patrick Mahomes missing the playoffs. Matter of fact, Travis Kelce needs to motivate them even more by telling them this is it for him. He about to retire, get married, and live his life. That's what he needs to tell them. This is it. This is swan song. Don't let me go out like this. Give them extra incentive. That's what the hell he needs to do, okay? Taylor Swift, go out there and make a song for him. You understand what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. This is what it's all about right here. All hands on deck. This is what you got to do. Kansas City, could they go 6-1? Absolutely, they could go 6-1. We know who they are. We know what Patrick Mahomes brings to the table.
Because he remembers them from 2 years ago. They're not bad. They're not great. They're like the NFL's version of airplane food, still edible. But something feels off. And before Chiefs fans get angry, relax. You've had years at the top. You can handle one season where you're mid. It builds character. It builds emotional maturity. It builds the kind of humility Tom Brady never learned. The funniest part is that other people are clowning the Chiefs harder than any rival could. Patriots fans, Broncos fans, even Raiders fans, teams with their own problems, are roasting Kansas City. And that's when you know things are bad. If Raiders fans are laughing at you, you need prayer. But don't worry, Kansas City, I'm not gonna say the thing. You know the thing. I'll just say this. Go love yourselves. You deserve it. Number 14 is either the Jaguars or the Texans, depending on how spicy you want your NFL chili. Let's start with Jacksonville. The Jags might be holding on to a playoff spot by dental floss.
By far, it's the Jaguars absolutely dismantling the Chargers, who had looked great this year more often than not, 35-6. And if we go back to the last time these two teams played in the 2022 postseason, since falling behind 27-0 to the Chargers, the Jaguars have outscored LA 66-9. Since that moment, the Jaguars own the Chargers right now, and it was a stunner to see with the Jaguars, who have been very up and down, very inconsistent this year. They got it together yesterday.
But they've got the things no other AFC bubble team has. Best strength of schedule, best strength of victory. Basically, they've beaten more good teams than anyone else, which means they're either underrated or deeply confused. Their offense finally found its identity to run the dang ball 40 times. Old school, smash mouth. The kind of game plan that makes offensive linemen cry happy tears. Meanwhile, the Texans continue to be the weirdest team in football. They've allowed the fewest points per game in the league despite having an offense that disappears more often than my cousin when it's time to pay the bill. CJ Stroud got hurt, practiced, didn't practice, almost played, then didn't. So now we get Davis Mills again. Mills season. The man with a neck long enough to get Wi-Fi from space. And yet, I still don't count Houston out. Not until the math counts them out. And even then, I might double check the math.
The Houston Texans have the best defense in the National Football League. I didn't think they could do this to Josh Allen. I knew that front and the way Will Anderson Jr. and them boys be coming, they smothered. I'm talking about smothered Josh Allen. That was an 8-sack performance.
At number 13, we got the Carolina Panthers. And listen, I finally cracked the code. The secret to their success isn't coaching. It isn't Bryce Young. It isn't Xavier Legette. It's winning the coin toss. They are undefeated when they win the coin toss. Ninja. That's not football. That's witchcraft. They also have Luke Kuechly working as the highest paying equipment manager in football, which might explain why their jock straps have more support than their offensive line. Bryce Young became the only quarterback this year with a 400-yard, 3-touchdown 0-pick game. Do it again. Bryce, show us it wasn't a glitch in the simulation. Then we get to the Steelers and the Buccaneers, two teams who feel like they're permanently grounded. The Steelers are either elite or awful depending on their defense. No middle ground. They're like your friend who's either at the gym at 5 a.m. or in bed, eating cereal straight from the box while crying. The Buccaneers got hit with a brutal schedule and collapsed like a folding chair at a family cookout.
I'd say the 2-point play, the first one at least. I need to get to a different play. That one falls on me. So that's not scheme or the players or anything besides me. Need to get to a better play. Yeah, and it just comes down to, in that down and distance, who wants it more. And when it comes to the run game, yeah, if it's dialed up, we need to execute it.
What do you remember about the 3rd and 2 pass to Shepard before the punt?
Yeah, they did a good job, obviously, covering that up. It's a zone coverage, but the guy that's following Shep, it gives him a man indicator to keep running on his route. So they did a really good job covering it up. For me, looking back on it, can I extend it a little bit more, maybe scramble for it? But yeah, they obviously covered it up well, and from there, just move on.
But the same thing happened last year, and they turned it around. Todd Bowles' teams fall apart, and then somehow rise from the dead like it's Easter Sunday. Let's talk about the Packers at number 9. Jordan Love has been the subject of more slander than a politician during tax season. But guess what? He leads the league in EPA per play after Week 11. EPA is a fancy stat that basically says, yo, this ninja is actually kind of fire. He's doing all this without a single receiver over 500 yards. And a run game that averages 3-point diddly squat. That's the official number. 3-point diddly, it's in the rule book. Then we got the 49ers at number 8. The Niners have the worst QB pressure rate in the league. Their defense has allowed 29 touchdowns. They're injured, they're inconsistent, but somehow they keep winning. They're like that kid who never studies, never sleeps, never prepares, and still gets A's. Everyone hates that kid.
San Francisco went out there and gave them the what for?
That was over first 3 series.
41-22. And Brock Purdy's back. It's been a weird year. Is it his shoulder? It's his toe? It's this vague kind of him and Pearsall. It's like that you forgot they even were on the team, and neither of them went to the IR, and you don't kind of know why, because it just kept going for weeks, and weeks became more than a month. And at the quarterback position, Mac did a more than adequate job holding the rope.
Brock Purdy came back and immediately boosted the offense like he was installing an update. Even their bad performances can't keep them out of the playoff picture. Number 7 is the Buffalo Bills. And if there's one thing the Bills are consistent at, it's being inconsistent. Their defense is respectable against the pass, but leaks rushing yards like a kiddie pool at a dog daycare. They gave up 197 yards one week, 200 to the next. At this point, teams aren't even trying to throw. They're just running the ball until Buffalo starts crying. Then there's the Philadelphia Eagles. The Broncos of the NFC, but with actual wins. Their defense is nasty. Their offense is confusing. Their quarterback Jalen Hurts has had more offensive coordinators than some people have had romantic relationships. Lane Johnson is hurt. The O-line is banged up. And the whole offense feels like a group project where everyone forgot to work on their part. At number 2, we got the Rams. Matthew Stafford is having an MVP season so crazy it doesn't even make sense. 27 touchdowns and 2 picks. That's not football. That's Madden on rookie mode.
I know what you're going to say. It's not about the individual stats or the accolades, but in year 17, winning an MVP or being named MVP, come on. You know enough about the history of this game or how to, work your tail off in this. What would it mean?
Yeah, I mean, it would mean a lot, obviously. I just have so much respect and reverence for this game. It's humbling for me to be a part of it for as long as I've been able to be a part of it. And when you get opportunities to play good football and be named with some of the greatest players, that have ever played at your position. I mean, I pinch myself a lot of times thinking about that. Sean will flip me a game ball or something and say, you broke Dan Marino's record or something like that. And I'm like, golly.
Number 1 is the Denver Broncos. And listen, if you come for the king, you best not miss. The Broncos defense leads the league with 181 quarterback pressures. Their offensive line allows the lowest sack rate in football. They're 9-2 despite having receivers who drop more passes than a magician with butterfingers. And they're doing this while waiting for their best defensive player to return. They're climbing the mountain and daring anyone to try to knock them off. And the curse wheel is spinning again, and Ninja, Someone's getting cursed. So what did we learn? The curse wheel is broken. The Chiefs are mid. The Panthers are powered by coins. The Packers are secretly elite. The Bills forgot how to stop the run. The Eagles need therapy. The Rams are cheating at math. And the Broncos are sitting on the throne, polishing the crown, daring anyone to take a swing. Which team should get cursed next? Tell me in the comments. And remember, if someone spits in your face, fight back if it's Jamar Chase. And run if it's Jalen Carter. Stay dangerous, my ninjas. I'm about this bish. Peace.